Hey everybody, welcome back with your boy Beano Mac. Today we're just going to do a quick video. It's going to be just me attempting to cause a rampage in GTA San Andreas. If you haven't seen it, check out my quote-unquote causing chaos video in GTA Vice City from last week. Pretty much it's just me going around the city using cheats to get some weapons and then just trying to cause as much chaos as they possibly can. Just something to, show off a little bit of what I've got in GTA, which if we're being honest, you're going to see isn't very much. But I figured I'd let the intro play as well. Kind of just like an introduction to the Grand Theft Auto series for my channel. And the Will Rider Challenge is that's definitely probably one of my favorite things about this game. I love customizing the cars in this series. I'm not really a car guy in real life, but it's just something that's like, I love collecting the cars in these games. I don't know, the newer GTAs just kind of don't really do it as much for me. Like, I'm not really a GTA 5 fan. GTA 4 did a lot to, push the series forward, but when they kind of changed that style, it wasn't really my thing. And I'm not the biggest GTA fan, but Vice City, San Andreas, and I do want to try out the Liberty City stories and the Vice City stories at some point. Just because those are kind of classics from what I can tell as well. It's too bad that they have kind of a new universe now, and now all these characters are kind of forgotten in the actual lore of the series. They got some characters that were minor that kind of carried over, like the Laszlo. And those classic loading screens are just so iconic. It's too bad it's a good thing because you don't want to, waste 5 minutes for the game loading up. But it's kind of also bittersweet that they didn't get rid of these like loading screens entirely in the definitive editions, but it loads up in like 10 seconds, which could have really benefited if if you know anything about the definitive editions, needing more time to load up. But no definitive editions here. Unfortunately for the definitive editions, they're very glitched, as you can tell. There's millions of videos showing just how bad those are, and in my personal experience, I didn't have too many issues. I actually found them to be a lot more convenient. I played them on PS4, but that said, that's one of those things where you can't ignore the issues that were there, and it should have had so much more care and time put into it. Plus, I can't stand the art style in the new games. It is so bad. I guess I kind of understand where they were going with it, but they did such a bad job with it. And there's no reason. A lot of people say, oh, well, these games are a lot more cartoony, this and that. In hindsight, yes, but this was cutting edge at the time. These character models are definitely rough to look at nowadays, but this was the best we could do back in the day. Imagine what they could look like. There's plenty of videos on YouTube to check it out just to see what they look like in HD. Yeah, to get that guy, I spent too much time already chasing him down. Had to make sure I got him. But it's just so sad that instead of getting the care that it deserved, it was just kind of a quick side project cash grab for Rockstar to remaster these. And then they took down the official versions, I think, as well, the original PS2 ones. So this is on an emulator. If you know anything about my channel, I'm an emulator guy. Don't tell Nintendo that though.
At least it was before I fucked everything up.
But Vice City and San Andreas were always my favorite. It was actually playing these videos where you can see just I don't know if it's an emulator issue or what, but I didn't remember, the same pedestrians essentially spawning so frequently in these games. But as you can see, you know, that criminal guy, the girl, you know, they just show up constantly in this. But they did, I'll give them credit though, in the Definitive Edition, they did enter in a lot more better quality of life things like the checkpoints, which even if like in the older games it's just restarting the mission from the beginning, I mean that's so much better than the alternative. Plus, I mean, it felt like it was easier to control at certain points. I mean, maybe there'll be those that disagree, but coming back to it like this, it was a little difficult for me, I'm not gonna lie. Just, I don't know, I tried to at one point, I think in Vice City, adjust the sensitivity of the aim, but it just wasn't working for me, brother, you know? So it's definitely going to be, when I do play the game, something that I'm going to have to figure out and get used to again, because Vice City especially, I mean, I was getting my ass kicked. So not very good vibes. I'm really sending with these videos of you know, my mad skills in GTA. But at some point I do plan to play these for the channel. And I always hated these helicopters. They always spawn right on top of you, so every time you shoot them down, they're you know, they're right there to damage you from the explosion. Granted, I mean, like, there are times where I just missed a bunch of times, so I reaped the consequences of it. I just remember that being a big issue for me in these, as you can see. Yeah, there we go. First death. And I always hated how you could not skip these, so, you know, unfortunately for you guys, you're gonna have to suffer through these as well. And also, I mean, in these old games, the police, like, I think it was Vice City, and this one as well, I mean, the police are just everywhere. There are times where you can see just 3 police officers walking out on the street with no pedestrians. It's insane. So I think there were some small quality of life improvements in the Definitive Editions overall, but I mean, it's just, hopefully nothing like that ever happens in gaming again, but as we all know, it's more than likely going to. I mean, they still haven't fixed the games from what I can tell anyway, and everybody's just kind of at the point where it's where we're just kind of used to it. Nobody's really complaining about it anymore. I think everybody's mostly moved on. As you can tell, I'm wasting no time and just getting right back into it. I mean, some of the best moments I've had in GTA, realistically, are just using the weapon sheets and just going wild. Especially as a kid. I mean, I loved, you know, going to the gym, working out with CJ, you know, using the money cheat to buy all the houses in the area. I've never been a very good GTA player, if I'm being honest. I mean, as you can tell, like I said, I mean, I'm going to get better for the playthroughs, obviously. I'm not going to have you guys just suffer through, you know, 20 mission attempts or anything like that, but I'm not the best player. I also don't have very good instincts. As you can see, I kept shooting the shotgun, which I probably should have just swapped it out for the machine gun. Took quite a few bullets there. That's such a cool rocket launcher too, like a homing missile. As you can see, I'm about to attempt to set up some traps for any police officers that are gonna come and run up on me. You'll you'll see the end result of that. Spoiler alert, it doesn't go very well. There are times where I feel like I should be, you know, turning around to aim, but it just doesn't work out. Which, I mean, honestly, it is my fault. I'm probably expecting too much of the game, but you know, I'm not the biggest shooter guy. I loved the thing about Vice City and San Andreas I loved the most were just like the vibes of these games and the time period. I think they captured these things so perfectly. It's amazing. Yeah, as you can see, I seen that police car pop up, and I got a little too trigger happy with those bombs. Just trying to create a little cool moment there, but it didn't work out. And then the cheats, of course, you know, that's also, I mean, they don't make games with all these cheats anymore. And the Definitive Edition, I think, has like a few cheats left in, but like you're punished for using them, which for achievements I get, but I think you're just punished in other ways. But I think this was also one of the first games where like they kind of realized leaving in these cheats can really negatively affect the game. Like I think if you use too many cheats on like this Mad Dog mission, you just can't complete it because the game just is messed up internally, which is too bad. 'Cause I mean, I think for a lot of early 3D era people, you know, especially the casual guys like me, that really was GTA. Just run around, you know, causing a rampage, stealing cars, just doing goofy stuff, not so much the missions, you know, cheats and whatnot. And it's kind of sad that that time of gaming is kind of come and gone. The PS2 era is just legendary. And I mean, that PS2, I mean, it's got to be the longest running console in history. Maybe the Wii compared with it, but I mean, they were still making games in like 2011 for you know, the PS2 and whatnot. Just goes to show how great of a console it was, really. I still, to this day, I mean, I think I may like maybe I'll have to do a rankings list on consoles someday, but I think the PS2 era, at the very least, was probably the most creative in console history. Just because it was still cheap enough where you could get those, you know, small time games that maybe weren't the biggest, you know, the best graphics or anything like that, but you know, they had great ideas, good concepts that you just don't really see nowadays because of the risks involved. I mean, even with something like, you know, the new SpongeBob games that have come out, I mean, they used to have all these licensed kids games, and a lot of them were pretty garbage, but then you'd get those SpongeBob ones or the Nicktoons Volcano stuff. They were pretty fun. You know, I like the Teen Titans game. You're not going to see any of that stuff nowadays. It just costs way too much to develop even a PS5 game. I think they're trying to do things a little bit like that with the Switch, but even the rumors with the Switch, they're kind of upgrading the consoles to be on par with you know, modern type consoles, which, you know, chances are by the time it's over with, you know, the Switch 2 is going to be vastly outdated. Yeah, I tried to go into the pizza shop and shoot in the interior, but it didn't work out for me. I forgot you had to unlock it in the Rider mission, so I'm trying to escape, but I didn't want to do anything like go to a paint spray or you know, use any more cheats to heal myself. It was kind of get myself to that point and then just go wild, I guess. Even those old commercials in these games were pretty great, you know, parodying the political stuff and landscape of the time period that they were in, as well as, you know, the soundtracks were just phenomenal. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell to be notified of the daily content, and have a nice day.